No.
You're bowling okay, mate, right?
Yeah.
It's the same.
We'll find out, won't we, when I get the first.
Do they worry about that? Like,
Oh, look, there was a bit of worry. I mean, when I think I bowled 28 overs of pace in a Shield game, and my workloads were 0 before then, so some would say that's a big spike. But good, my body's pretty durable, touch wood, pretty durable, and, it's something that I've done from a young age. I've always bowled pace, so...
You also got big shoes to fill in the gully. Excited about potentially fielding there?
Well, hopefully I'm not fielding there and someone else is fielding there, but wherever I field, it's fine. I mean, whoever's filling Greeny's shoes, unfortunately, I'm not sure their feet are going to be big enough because he stopped so many runs and taken so many amazing catches. So it's just for us to be able to rejig our field around and make sure we're covering all bases.
Usman was saying... Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, sorry. Usman was saying recently, that there's so much time in a test match. I know you're so used to having David Warner in the side and the quick scoring at the top, but in your eyes, is there any pressure to get that scoreboard moving early in the innings, or can you really play the long game? Do you think with the side that you've
look, there's some amazing things that Davey brought out in all of us. I think the energy he brought to the crease. I think Davey and I's partnership over our career was very good, and I think he got the best out of me with that energy. Now, that didn't always mean we scored fast, but it just meant we did the small things, running hard between wickets, calling loud, the energy, the enthusiasm at the crease, and I think that's where we were touched on before about the partnerships. It's knowing what each individual needs to be successful and how we can bring that partnership together. If they bowl well and we don't score many runs in the first session, that's got no relevance. But it's about that energy, understanding what each individual needs at the crease. Uzi might be a little bit more, laid back. Nathan might need a little bit more energy, and understanding how we can help each partnership out there and growing our understanding of batting together with each player.
Just one on Steve Marnus, him moving back to 4. I know you said earlier in the year that there was a sense from Uzi and yourself that you like the security of him coming in at 4 in terms of the way the batting order works. What's it like to have him back there, and what are you expecting from him this summer?
I think in simple, I think he's one of Australia's best ever players, and his most successful position is being batting at 4. So to have him back in a position where he's comfortable and he's scored a lot of his test runs is perfect for us. And in a big series, there's no one that plays the situation of the game better over his career, being able to evade, when they do go the bouncer plan, when, it is...
They came with a specific plan, they blocked out the offside. Do you prepare sort of keeping that in mind, or do you make a fresh start and just focus on what you're doing?
No, 100%. I mean, like I said, my best preparation is always thinking at the other end and thinking about how they're going to attack me, and then me being able to develop and change my game to what's the best method to attack them. So I certainly think at times, they might go back to that plan, but I think might be other areas that they'll attack first this time around, and try and, bowling that more channel and try and nick you off. I think especially in Perth with a bouncy wicket.
And just Marnus, he's spoken really glowingly about you and the role that you've played in his career, and about your mentorship. Firstly, what's that relationship been like, and also does it make you feel proud to hear those words come from the man?
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about his journey and how he's got here. I think leaving Queensland, moving to South Australia, really taking a punt on his career and not a punt, making, I think, the right decision to get the opportunity to play. And he's been amazing for them the last 2 years. So it's been really good to see him develop and grow his game. And our relationship's always been close, from the days where he was at Queensland 3 years ago, and even when he was younger. So it's great to see him develop and turn into the player that, I always thought he could get to, but you're never 100% sure. But there was certainly a lot of confidence with... there's a lot of things to like about him, his character, his ability, his leadership. There's so many really good qualities, so it's great to see him get the opportunity out here.
I was going to ask how he's fitted into the group, but I guess more pressingly, how's he go on the golf course? Because I heard that's pretty handy.
Yeah, we played today actually. He didn't play that well today, which is good. Me, myself, Uzi and him played today. And yeah, he's a very handy golfer. I think he plays off like two. So yeah, he's a proper golfer.
Speaking of being handy, Marnus, your bowling bounces it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to judge. They played on completely different conditions, spinning conditions. Um, but I mean, having India come here off the back of a loss at home is something that's never happened before. So I think that's a good thing in terms of they're probably a little bit lower on confidence, not coming off a test victory, losing to New Zealand 3-0. I think that's going to do a little bit of damage to their confidence. But at the end of the day, they're a quality lineup and they're one of the best teams in the world. So you can never underestimate a team like that.
And you kind of worry, like, given what happened in 2021, like, they've already kind of got a couple of injuries with Rowe, well, sorry, not an injury, but a missing players with Rowe and maybe Shubman, but you're always kind of worried that those other guys are decent as well.
Well, exactly. I think that's what happened in 2021. I think the likes of Natarajan played. Siraj got his first sort of crack in Australia. Washington Sundar played, and they had all these guys that were probably a little bit new. Shubman played that last couple of games, so there was new faces around. But they're a quality lineup, and they've shown that over a period of time. So you can't ever underestimate the depth of Indian cricket. So anyone that's gets the opportunity to play for India have had to do a lot of hard work and find their way into that side because, I mean, I don't know how many million people are in India, but to actually play for a team like that, you have to be a very good player.
How important will it be not only for your confidence, but to keep the Indians a little bit rattled to get that first win here?
I mean, winning the first game of any series is important. So to have India rattled or not rattled, I don't think that's really the right question. The right question is we just want to start this series on the right foot and play good cricket, and hopefully that then has a great flow-on effect to the rest of the series.
Marnus, you finished that New Zealand test with a big score after relatively quiet summer last summer by your standards. But that's quite a long time ago now. Between your last test, how do you kind of make sure you can start this summer with the way you finished against New Zealand?
I think it's just firstly coming back to that process. Like you said, my last test game, I actually played quite well, and for me, it's just about starting the series really well, making sure I'm really well prepared, making sure I understand how the Indian attack is going to come at me, and making sure that I prepare really well. And if I do all those things over a 5-test series, which is 10 innings, you're hoping that process and that trusting your method and the way you go about it is going to pan out in the right way.
And just
It's going to be important for all of us. I think the way we play when we're at our best, we're playing the long game. We understand that, getting them back for their second and third spells, putting them under pressure and letting them come to us and us putting pressure back on them through overs in the field and time in the game, especially over a 5-test series. That's really important because as you get into the third, fourth, fifth test, if they're trying to play the same team and those bowlers are rolling into, 100, 150, 200 overs by the third test, it's going to make a big difference in the series.
Travis mentioned something about a bit more of a renewed emphasis on partnerships. There's been sort of a few test matches Australia's won in the last little while where there's been like one individual great batting performance. Can you talk a bit about that? Obviously that was a strength a couple of years ago.
Sorry, Marnus, can you just not look at those journos off to the side because we're losing your face? Can you just keep looking down between the cameras?
Yeah.
That's right. We're losing you. These guys, we're losing you when you turn to these guys with their phones. We need you looking down the cameras.
All good, mate.
Straight between us, if that's easy.
Yeah,
for you.
gotcha.
That'd be great.
What was your question again? Start again.
Bit more re-emphasis on the importance of partnerships. You've had a few test match wins in the last little while where maybe there's one great innings rather than sort of building those partnerships.
Yeah, I think the partnerships part is a really big part. I think in the last few years, in the last year or so, we've probably not put those together. We've relied on some brilliant performances from all the batting order, but I think just getting back to that and knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses and knowing how we can help each other out there to stay engaged and start building that partnership, I think that's the the main part that we need to continue to work together with.
And can you just talk through that? Obviously, there was the one day here in Perth last week on this surface, just the decision to stay at home and I guess have red ball prep rather than play that game.
Look, that was just a decision that was made for the test team to not let them travel up and then travel back home and then travel, 4 trips to Perth. So I think that was just to get ready for a really big series. I think making sure guys are ready and getting that transfer over into red ball, making sure everyone's fresh for a really big summer is going to be vital come that 4th, 5th test. So it may look a little bit strange, when you're looking at it from to play the first test, but we're looking at the whole series, and I think that's where Cricket Australia have got their eyes on. We're here to win the series, and the first game everyone might be fresh and it might be fine, but when you get to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th in such a big series, that's where the impact's going to be had.
What have you made of